Namaste, Libra. You are last but not at all least. This is going to be your reading for the month of December. Yes, I know the month of December is almost half over, but I did the first 9 signs before the month even started, and then YouTube got all up in and through my DMs with some kind of problem with my channel, and I got derailed. And while I still have that going on somewhat, I also been getting tons and tons of, first it was reading orders, personal readings, client readings, and then healing. My guess, I haven't asked anybody like, why are you getting healing now? Or why did you ask for a reading? It's people do it for whatever reason they do it, and I appreciate it. I haven't asked why, but my guess, my presumption is 12/21. Right, this, I was gonna say this major event, but it's really like a series of major events that are happening between now and then, all kinds of stuff. Chiron is going direct. Chiron is in a transit until I think something like the year 2027. It's going to be, in and out of Aries, mostly in, and has been since I think it was 2018 and 19. So that's one of the things. It's going direct this week. There's like 2 planets entering Sagittarius, 2 entering Aquarius. There's all kinds of stuff. So anyway, let's get in and see how that's going to affect you guys. Beginning with Major Arcana Card 6, the Lovers, which most directly represents your fellow air sign, Gemini. I do have to also tell you before I get into this, because I have a feeling we're going to see it. Somebody has a relationship with a Leo, a Libra, maybe a few of y'all. A Leo and I'm saying and because it could be Sun, Moon, Rising, a Scorpio. Somebody's getting divorced. Your divorce is going to be final in the very near future. Maybe possibly by the end of the month. You'll start the new year with a clean slate. And if it's not that you are getting divorced, I did see it in the love and relationship sector. But if it's not that you're getting divorced, like in the legal sense, I do see you severing yourself from someone or something, sort of with some finality to it. Like, I'm not going back to that again. And that could be why the Lovers is here first, because the Lovers, either it's about like true love. When you pull it in a love reading, it could be super positive because it can mean like, yeah, this is the real deal. This is not like the bullshit kind of, relationship where we're going to get together and waste each other's time for a little while, which can be fun sometimes, depending upon how you waste, each other's time. But if you're looking for something solid and the Lovers shows up, that is a good indication that that's what you've got. That's what you found. But another meaning of the Lovers, so just when it's like out of that love reading context, like it is right now, can be like a heart versus head decision is how I like to describe it, where, your heart is telling you, guiding you towards something or away from something, and your head is telling you that doesn't make sense. That's not logical, right? Because Geminis are all about what's logical, right? We're ruled by Mercury. So that is one of our strongest traits. To just be in our head, we have to think everything through. It has to make sense in order for us to move forward. So it's your head fighting with your heart. And I tend to say that people should go with the heart. So something could be actually involving a Gemini, maybe some air on air situations. We have the King of Swords right behind this card. This can be a Gemini if it's not your own energy, Libra, because you're, of course, you too are an air sign. It might be Mercury himself, again, ruler of the sign of Gemini. This could be about communication that needs to happen. This is often a lawyer or a judge. I was talking about divorce or something possibly. The King of Swords, often a lawyer or a judge or some other sort of professional capacity for me, an accountant, a psychiatrist, something like that. Or it can be a friend that you can talk to that can help you see your way through some sort of problem, a difficulty. Geminis in particular, Aquarians are good for this too. Geminis are known for it though. Seeing a situation from all sides and being able to, well, I understand that, but I also understand that. I also understand that. So I see why that happened. And then be the most fair and diplomatic about how to respond to a situation. So if you can find a friend like that is a King of Swords with that trait, great person to lean on their shoulder. Look, there's the Leo. It says somebody's dealing with somebody's got something going on with the Leo. And I said this because I did, like I said, I did the first 9 signs of the zodiac. Boom, before December even started. And then when I finally got back on track, or thought I had, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do these last 3 signs and knock them out. I needed to do Leo, Virgo, Libra. And I somehow went straight to Virgo. And so before your reading, I did, not today, but the last reading that I did was for Leo, because I went out of order. I did Virgo, Leo, now you. And I saw so much like Libra and Scorpio, maybe a Libra Scorpio. I also saw a lot of water in general, so maybe a Cancer Leo, but something going on there. In any case, Major Arcana card Strength, especially when it's upright, is one of my most favorite cards. It is a positive card in every single potential area of your life. Some cards, they show up in one area and they mean wonderful things, like the Sun, for example. The Sun is an awesome card, right? It's about something being illuminated. It's about clarity, light being shined on it, surgeries turning out well, illnesses becoming healed. Just a positive card. But with relation to love and relationship, it can mean that you need a break from each other, like separation and stuff. So that's not so, necessarily so awesome. But this is one that's awesome in every area. It's, in finances, it's positive things, you finding a job or getting a promotion or, being appreciated at where you are in your work, recognized for the good that you do, all that kind of stuff. If it has to do with love and relationship, it is about the strength, like the support, mutual support, adoration, love for one another, really being provided for. Not necessarily in a financial sense, but that too, but just provided for, in terms of your needs being met, because you really have a support system. And then in a general, it's about you having the strength to face any and every sort of situation that you encounter. And it may have something to do with an actual Leo. And the next card is the Moon. It is in reverse. The Moon most directly represents the sign of Pisces. And there is actually a new moon in Sagittarius coming up in just a couple days. Wow. Did you see that? I stuck the cards in arbitrarily, randomly, so that they would be, further mixed up than just by me shuffling, and open right to the Lovers for you guys again. So this is really significant energy for you. There's more Gemini. It's the Magician in reverse. Magician, a card of manifestation. The energy is weakened when it's been in reverse, but it's still a great card in terms of manifestation. Then we have the Two of Cups, some sort of partnership, maybe forgiveness in a partnership, so that you can, come back stronger together. We now have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Maybe this is your Leo. It can also be the energy of Aries and Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Knight of Wands in reverse can be a card of delay, as can the Eight of Wands in reverse. Packages, letters, other types of communication, delayed, held up. Knight of Wands can also have something to do with work. It could be somebody's paycheck or something is held up, or some sort of money that they're waiting on. And I said the same thing to Leo, actually. May have to do, look, here's another one. She's also in reverse. More Wands in reverse. Could also have something to do maybe with the government. And, maybe you're waiting for stimulus, the unemployment money, a check, a PPP loan, or you're a business owner or something like that. It's actually, speaking of the government, this could be tied to maybe Nancy Pelosi. She's an Aries. Kamala. I grew up with a girl named Kamala. I didn't grow up with her. We went to high school together. Kamala, spelled the same way. But the vice president elect pronounces her name Kamala. She's a Libra, was what I was trying to get out of my mouth, as is her husband, Doug. I'm going to cut here. And I said a Libra may have something going on with a Scorpio or a Gemini. So the president, the current president, is a Gemini. And the president-elect is actually a Scorpio. I didn't think about that when I did the other reading, but that could be it too. So it will affect you indirectly in that sense if it has to do with the government and you are somebody who is living here in the United States. I know some of my viewers are international in other countries, other continents even. I have viewers and clients on every continent except for Antarctica. So it's pretty awesome. Anyway, we've come now to the Fool in reverse, your overall energy. And the Fool in reverse is super, super Aquarius feel for me because it's about wanting freedom. And Aquarius is the sign of freedom and humanitarianism. You just like want to, go off and save the world, right? And do stuff in your own unique way, whatever that means for you. And look at all these cards are in reverse. All right, so Seven of Cups in reverse is like having made some sort of decision about something or narrowed down choices or focused in on one dream or another. Maybe it's a dream deferred, something that you've wanted to do that you didn't get to do. So there's some pain and separation from it there. And, maybe I let too much time pass kind of feel. Page of Wands in reverse can definitely be about wanting to pick up something you started a long time ago, whether it's a project, a job, a relationship, something. I want to get back to something. Seven of Wands in reverse, about having made a decision. So we had this energy of indecision here. We started with that with the Seven of Cups. Now this is the Seven of Wands. And then again, the Fool in reverse. Maybe you've made a decision, but that desire for freedom and for you to do these things and make accomplishments might be getting in the way of other aspects of your life, particularly your love life. But we'll delve a little deeper in just a moment. I'm grabbing the stands here. I'm going to use these to hold up the cards because I'm going to pull 4 cards that will most directly represent you for the rest of the month. With the first one being a general energy. And it's a 10. The 10 of Swords in reverse. Surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, maybe something going on at the job. The King of Swords in reverse. Work and finance specifically. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. And last but not least, love and relationship. The Four of Swords upright. I'm going to pull one more to see if we can figure out perhaps what this 10 of Swords in reverse is most directly connected. But the 10 of Swords is a card of difficulty, challenge, betrayal, separation, infidelity, all those types of things. And it's tied to the devil. So yeah. For me, these 2 cards can also be somebody, as I say, trying to putting roots on you. Somebody trying to mess with your energy, manipulate your energy. AKA dark magic stuff sometimes too is involved. Reverse. If this Devil and 10 of Swords isn't dark magic, and that type of manipulation, it's still manipulation. I'm still just getting some very, very strong abuse, maybe specifically abuses of power. And that's from where the feeling of being trapped comes from. All right, let me see if everything is in frame so I can really do this. It looks good. I'm going to go back to the Fool. Because it can mean also that a fresh start is coming, sort of like whether you like it or not. And for some of you, I think that's in your relationship. Again, I think like there was betrayal or hurt or infidelity, a combination of those, maybe even addiction or something that affected it. And so maybe it's come to an end. Maybe you lost your partner because you were the one on the end of that behavior, or however it happened. Because we have again the Four of Swords in your position of love and relationship, which is a part of rest and recovery, and like healing after a Three of Swords. Here's the Three Swords right here. And then here is like the Ace of Swords for your new beginning. This card is also about a new beginning. But it's like very spiritual too. So that's why I said it feels like Aquarius for me, because Aquarius again is the sign of freedom and humanitarianism. Humanitarianism, that's a spiritual thing, to want to like save the world. That's seeking to serve a much higher purpose than to just live your life in your own confines, right? Going about. When you want to help and serve humanity, that's a spiritual thing. And that's the feeling that I get from this card. And that's basically what it's about in the traditional sense of the tarot. So because it's maybe has such a deeper meaning, perhaps, is why we're not necessarily ready for that change and can be avoidant of it. And so I think that for some of you, that's what this is about. And just sort of feeling chained or stuck in your current and present life because you're afraid of that change. You're afraid of moving on, or you don't want to move on. Or again, perhaps in your love life, this Fool is saying that you do have a desire for independence and freedom and to take on the world, and that is interfering in your love life. And so maybe a break is sought, and that leads to some sort of heartache, separation that this Ten of Swords can be representing too. Like, all you care about is doing your own thing. We need a break, or we need to break up, or again, perhaps even like I want a divorce, sort of thing. This is not working. Can be what happens, and then of course you can be on either side of that. You can be the one who's seeking it, who's experiencing this, and this is again the most specific, like general energy surrounding you this month. Or you can be the one who is again on the end of the side that caused, that initiated whatever this is, that caused the separation or break to occur. Another meaning that may not be as deep or serious, having to do with love and relationship, can be, and this is again having to do with the sign of Aquarius and the way the card makes me feel, is that Aquarius has like the most difficulty in love. Anytime you look into the zodiac and you talk about love and relationship, like they're number 12 on the list of the best partners and stuff like that. And that's because again, they are this sign of freedom and independence, right? And so when somebody is like, they're in a relationship or they claim to want a relationship, but they're just very single. They just behave very single, again, super independent. And you have to be able to be not so independent, certainly not codependent either, which the Ten of Swords can be about, but what I like to call interdependent. You got to be able to have some sort of room to share your life with somebody else. And so that may be what's going on with some of you too in relation to love and the Fool in reverse. But other than that, the Fool in reverse is about new beginnings, and should be looked at as a positive card. Did we look at what was behind it? The Seven of Wands also in reverse. So again, yeah, maybe it's attached to some sort of decision you made. And it's like, I'm putting my foot down. I want to live like this, right? I've made this choice about myself. And I want to live like this. And that is causing some sort of friction for you. For others, the Ten of Swords could be affecting you or could have affected you in a different area of your life. It's really a card about when it's in reverse like this, having come through like a very difficult time in one way or another, and needing to like acknowledge that the worst should be over. And you have to come up with you probably will have to come up with some sort of solutions and plans and things. That can be what the Seven of Wands is about too, behind the Fool in reverse. To help your situation along. Like this is not necessarily one of those things that's just going to stop, cease on its own. You're probably going to have to take some sort of action, and that's probably why the devil showed up when I sought a clarifier. You know, it's really important not to make the same mistakes that caused the problem. You know, to not like repeat this history, and to really instead like recover and become restored and start something anew. Have a fresh start. That also may require you to again take some quiet time to yourself, which could be why the Four of Swords appears. Just to the side, because it can be a card about indecision too. And I realize it's in the position of love and relationship. It may have to do with something with your relationship with another person. And it's really figuring out what the next move is in terms of what is best for you. And that probably takes us back again to the Fool. It is this card of independence. It is this card of freedom. This is about you taking some sort of action to free yourself from whatever it is that is restricting and or inhibiting you. Even if that's just an emotion, that is just fear, right? Or some other negative emotion, regret, resentment that's keeping you sort of stuck in place or in limbo. You have to take the action. You have to be the person to deal with that and to sever that from you so that you can move on in this, toward this new beginning. So moving on to the surrounding energy, I also mentioned that this can be about manipulation. And the King of Swords in reverse is perhaps the manipulator. I mean, this energy at its most extreme in reverse like this can come off like a bully. And sometimes it shows up for us, right? To remind us that if we are being a bully, like we can't force people to behave how we want them to. We can't force people to think, how we want them to change their minds when they don't want to. That could be connected to the Seven of Wands, because Seven of Wands is about standing your ground and not allowing your mind to be changed. So it's a very forceful energy. Again, like I said, it could be here representing the planet Mercury himself, or it may represent a very literal person, perhaps a literal man in your life. Maybe a Libra like yourself, or a Gemini, or an Aquarius, someone likened to those traits or attributes, who is this very masculine sort of energy, like that man's man type of thing, if you know what I'm talking about. And he just cannot, sometimes he's like stubborn to a fault. He just cannot be changed. And he's somebody that you have to sort of take as they are, and just do the best you can with them and hope to be able to come to a compromise and to see things through. But if that's not working, then again maybe you have to break free from that kind of energy if it's not serving you. Moving on to the Page of Pentacles in reverse in terms of your work and finance. So this can mean, if we're talking actually about work, whether you own your own company or you work for somebody else, this can be about being very overwhelmed, like just having a tremendous workload, and really needing to try not to take on anything else if that's possible, and maybe even asking for help if that's allowable where you are. I know some places they'll say, oh, I can't tell the boss that I can't handle all this work, or I can't ask for somebody else. I said that I could do it. I said, give me the extra hours or the extra days, so now I have to actually do it. Again, this is going to be about doing the best you can, but if there is a way that you can sort of share that load with somebody, or at least again not take on anything else until you've been able to get through it, that's the best. In terms of your finances, it can be about wanting to gamble maybe, and like I said, there could be addiction going on here. It's probably it's not that you can't gamble or maybe play with some money or be slightly irresponsible right now, unless you do have a gambling problem. You can, But it's best if there's a way to do this, like to do it like in like a controlled environment, a responsible manner, and to certainly not to play with more money or valuables or whatever the case is that you may be risking, to play with more than you can afford to lose, and to know that like buying a lottery ticket is not making an investment. That's not like necessarily the most responsible way to deal with your finances. That's a gamble. So you might want to put some actual thought into finances if you're dealing with something. And again, maybe that's what's getting in the way of your love life. You're wanting to work, you're wanting to start your own business, you're wanting to do some, put in more hours because you are extra, and all that independence, all that you being separate from your partner is maybe causing, some stress in your relationship. So now to specifically talk about that love and relationship with as it relates to the Four of Swords upright, again, you just might be feeling disconnected from your partner, or perhaps they're feeling disconnected from you. It's important to be communicative. That's one of the positive traits of the King of Swords, right? That he is a communicator, or he has the means to communicate effectively. So it's about doing that. It's about remembering that we each have our own feelings, okay? And like your feelings are your own, and your partner's feelings are their own. Everybody has the right to feel as they will, and has a right to their emotions. And so that can be another reason why the devil is coming up also. And it could just mean that you need some time apart. Sometimes a break can just be like, I'm gonna go back to my own apartment today. Like, each of you has an apartment, and your mate ends up staying with you all the time, or you end up staying with them all the time. And it's like, just this weekend I'm gonna sleep in my own bed. I'll be back on Monday. It's not like we're breaking up, right? But sometimes we need space, we need a break, we need some time to ourselves, and that is okay. Sometimes we need to just go in another room if we're going to be in the same place. And that could be, if you feel like you need that, or if your partner feels like they need that, allow them that. Allow yourself that if you're the one that needs it. And if you're single and looking for love, now is definitely not the time to be pushy. Again, a bully. You're better off using his positive trait and being a communicator and being very specific, at least with yourself, if not with another person, about exactly what it is you're looking for in a relationship. And then, maybe speak that into existence. You'll find that the time will come when you will meet somebody who is of that type. But it's not necessarily in the immediate future. And now I'm going to further clarify these with some other cards, just some other additional messages. In the interest of time, I am not going to reshuffle these, but I always shuffle my cards before I do anything and pray over them and all that kind of stuff. So for you guys, I am starting with the King of Cups. And look, I didn't even know. Major Arcana card Justice is immediately behind it. So your energy in reverse. So I'm just going to talk about the King of Cups. He is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Also charity work, which for me is like unconditional love. Right, so the same way I pulled 4 cards straight from the back, I'm going to do that again. The first one is the Ace of Wands. So again, a new start awaits you. After this difficulty, after, whatever you have to do, whatever action you have to take to free yourself from this, there's a new start awaiting you. An exciting new opportunity. Career advancement, maybe. Change your life now. Surrounding energy, clarifying the King of Swords in reverse, is the Eight of Cups, a desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful. Remember I said this is like deep spiritual. You're looking for something higher. Spiritual and emotional growth. This could be you, literally walking away from a King of Swords, or from a manipulating, controlling energy, a bully, or maybe walking away from those behaviors if they were your own. Surrounding, work and finance. Nice. 2 of Cups. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. So something maybe that is amiss in your finances, maybe a mistake at the bank or a bill that you didn't pay and you're trying to get it off your credit report or something like that, something gets corrected. And also, this is a relationship that grows closer, your relationship with money. All right. This is you developing a better relationship with money, healthier. And last but not least, the Four of Swords, we have Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, which is a card of movement. So after you're restored, or perhaps after you're restored and you're feeling stronger, you're feeling like you recovered from whatever you went through, we're going to move on. Or, like I said, the Four of Swords can also be a card of decision or indecision. Often for me in the planning stages, this can be planning for some sort of travel or move, trip. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. Yeah, this is also a major card of victory is the word I was trying to think of. Success. So overcoming whatever it is that was there that was holding you back. And I will pull one extra card for this first, since I started out with 2, and I was going to say I like to look for the next upright card. Not only is this the next card, the next upright card, but the next card is the first card finally of the other deck, because these are 2 decks mixed up. All of these are from the same deck though. So let's just pull this one, and it's the King of Swords. I don't know why I was tempted to pull it. Here it is. It's another King of Swords. So whatever this is, it has to do with the King of Swords, but again, since you're a Libra, this is possibly your own energy. It could possibly have to do with you having, been manipulated, and maybe by, like I said, some sort of addiction or something, or being at risk or having been a manipulator, and it caused you some sort of difficult situation that is coming to an end, or has recently come to an end, or will come to an end by the end of the month. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find. So very, very positive. And now, more of something similar. This is another clarification with my soulmate oracle, beginning with harmony is pure love, for love is complete agreement. You are spiritually connected to those you love. And the next card is in reverse. So again, I will pull 4. The first one, so most directly representing you in a general sense, is never make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. Surrounding atop this King of Swords and the 8 of Cups, the reason it hurts so much to separate is because our souls are connected. The work and finance placement, in the end, you tried and you cared, and sometimes that's enough. I think that has to do with you being overwhelmed, and again, the need to do as best you can. And last but not least, love and relationship. Adventure awaits. Go find it. And that could be tied to your Fool in reverse for sure. Again, your soul is seeking to sort of run free, and maybe it's not the time. Maybe right now, at least for some of you, maybe a good bit of you, it's not necessarily the time for a committed relationship. It's time for you to get out there and see what awaits, or maybe to travel together. Again, with the Chariot, this could be a card of travel. The Four of Swords can be about you planning a trip or a move or something, perhaps with your partner. You're going to check out and see what adventure awaits both of you. I hope that you guys have enjoyed your reading. I'll be back next month. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. I try to answer all my comments. And when you subscribe, please hit both the subscribe button and the bell button, because I really hope and want for you to get your notifications. Namaste.